So when you get your piece of paper, you're going to first just take a look at it and see how big it is, and know that we want our self-portraits, our face and our shoulders and neck to take up a lot of the space of the paper. So we first imagine like where you think your face will be in the paper, taking up a pretty big portion of it. And I'm just going to make like a little line where I think the top of the head will be and the chin will be. And yours might be shifted a little lower. You could even do a little to the side, but we're just going to do like a rough sort of like this is where the head is. And then I'm going to visualize where's the middle of that. Right in the middle of those two lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just about. I'm going to do very lightly a dot. And this is where the eyes are going to be. And now I want you to look at your mirror. So before you actually draw the eyes, look at your eyes in the mirror, because everybody's eyes are shaped a little differently. Some eyes might look more like just very symmetrical shape, right? Their eyes just might be this almost the same on the top and the bottom and side to side. Some eyes might be shaped more like they kind of curve up on the edges. Some eyes maybe look wider on the inside and more narrow on the outside. So we all have different eye shapes, or maybe the opposite, really narrow on the inside and wider on the outside. And then you'll look at your pupil also. Most people's pupil kind of takes up a pretty big part. So it wouldn't just be like a dot in the middle of the eye. That will look kind of cartoony, but usually it takes up quite a bit of the eye. So you're going to go ahead and on your paper, after you've looked really at your own eyes, you're going to draw the eye shape that makes sense. Yeah. And you could draw the shape of those pupils and irises. Okay, so next we're going to move to the nose. Now we're going to kind of imagine like where the eyes are and where the bottom of the chin is. We're going to try and find a place that's right in the middle of those two. We're just going to kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Put a little dot, just one little dot. And then the next part of the face we're going to draw is the nose. And so a nose you could draw kind of like a L shape. And then that part kind of shows the nostril, right? And maybe you know that your nose starts out kind of flat at the top and then curves at the end. Or maybe you know your nose starts out. Another way you could draw the nose is if you think first about the shape at the bottom. And this is a more like frontal view of the nose. And then where your nostrils are. Yeah, sometimes like maybe in your room right now, you can even see your nostrils. And then you could draw something like this. Everybody's nose is a little different. So part of the challenge here is really looking at yourself in the mirror and noticing what shape your face, what shapes your face are made of. So just a couple ideas on how to draw noses. And so once you've looked at your nose, you can draw it on your paper. Yeah. And then we're going to do mouth. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to find that dot we made for the nose and the bottom of the chin. And right in the middle of that is where your mouth is going to be. And so there's a couple of ways to draw mouths. Take the time to look at your mouth. So we have the little line we're working with. People often have like right in the middle of the lip is just a little bit bigger. So you could start with this. And then these are the two lines that would be where your two lips meet, like if your mouth is closed. And then you can look, is your top lip like thicker or thinner than your bottom lip? And maybe your top lip happens to be thinner and your bottom lip a little thicker. right? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe your top lip is the bigger one and the bottom lip is thinner. Maybe you're feeling like a little smiley today, so that the edges of the mouth are gonna curve up on the ends, yeah? So there's a lot of right ways to draw lips. You just are trying to look at what your lips look like as you see them in the mirror, and then to kind of do something that matches that. So now take a look at maybe your hair, or if your ears are showing, you might start to sketch in ears. Ears are going to come the sides of the face. Yeah, and then this is the chin, right? So we're going to connect our chin up to where our ears are. You might add eyebrows. Maybe you have bangs and your eyebrows are hidden by your hair. So you might have shorter bangs, right? If you have short hair, you might just see a little bit of it. Maybe your hair is crazy, going all over the place. Maybe your hair was brushed today and it's very smooth. You might have long hair. When we get to the neck is often like a little wider than we think. So the neck's going to start way out at the sides. And then it'll be time to add clothing. So just looking at the shape of your shirt and your shoulders. So now hopefully you have a pretty good outline for your self-portrait. And this is when you're going to think of those things that make you special. And those are going to be added in. So if you play an instrument, maybe in the background, you're going to draw your instrument. All right, that one's a guitar. Or your pet, or something you're interested in, or maybe you have a favorite piece of jewelry that you draw, or maybe the decoration on your shirt is special. So we're just adding in extra details that give some information about who we are.